flocks in the spring again, and walk together down an English lane, until our hearts have learned to sing again, when you come home once more. And in the evening by the firelight glow, you'll hold me close and never let me go. Your eyes will tell me all I want to know. Home once more.
What are you thinking?
The cellar'll need clearing out.
It'll all get done.
It wants sorting through.
Be funny not going upstairs to bed. It'll take a bit of getting used to. When Bertram was little in war, sands were all mine, do you remember? Barbed wire and girders to stop parachutists. And Evesham, that was all mine too. We never had a proper holiday then, did we?
I was working.
These days it's all holidays.
I'll get to sleep. I've got to be up at 6, you know. We're not retired yet.
How'd you clean outside?
I'll say this, they're easy to follow. You've done in no time. Mind you, the wall's a paper thing. You can hear everything.
You get a grand view, though.
I never look now.
I should be stuck here all day. Fancy. They can't see where Dad works.
You'd have to be round the other side for that. When is it he finishes?
Today,
Today?
the Edinburghs are all down, and the Hancocks. They were grand houses, were them. Fancy, you'd never think. That confectioner's has a right big garden.
When are you off then?
Not for a bit yet. A week or two. You know, there's that much to see to. There goes 20 past. I'd best be making tracks. Them folks next door to us have gone. They've cut gas off. There's only us left out of everybody we knew in our street. I go along to the end now and I don't see a person to speak to.
Aye. If I had the architect that designed this place, I'd pause his backside. It's always the same.
Press G.
I have done.
Right, I know. You
You're
never
waiting
know.
downstairs.
Oh, is that what they're giving you?
Aye, it is.
35 year.
Aye.
You like toast?
What? Aye, well, I shall have to now, shan't I?
Son? Are you off then?
Yes, aye.
It's the first time you've ever beaten the clock.
Yes, it is that.
Now look after yourself.
Aye, you do.
You're off to Seaside then, eh?
Well, it's been like our ambition. Now the lads in Australia, there's nobody to keep us. I've got some cousins up at Pudsey, but I don't see them from one year's end to the next.
We go other side, you know, Scarborough.
Aye, except I feel it seems to do you more good on West Coast. Well, my missus thinks so anyway.
Aye, and they decide, don't they? Have you got somewhere to... Hey, up. Oh, look out, they're here. Have you got somewhere to live?
We've got a flat.
Off you go.
Aye.
Send us a postcard. All right?
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, then.
I'm not sorry to be retiring. Whittaker's? Well, I shall miss it a bit, but not a right lot. I've never felt any special affinity with it. Mind you, when I started, you were lucky to have a job at all, never mind what it was. The best time was when we were on war work. We made tanks at Whittaker's, proper tanks. By, they were great machines. And they had a map up in the canteen showing where there were Whittaker's tanks fighting. It seems daft, doesn't it, now? And after Alamein, Montgomery sent the factory a letter of thanks. I suppose, well, it probably wasn't from him. It'd be like propaganda. But it gave you a right boost. And Workers' Playtime once came with Suzette Tarry and the Western Brothers. Of course, they only had to mention the foreman's name, and we all cracked with laughing. It'd seem right silly now.
They pee in that lift, you know. Didn't like to say so. You can smell it. They must know.
Are you not going to read it?
I am. Just looking for my other glasses. Oh, Dad, that is nice, isn't it? You'd have thought young Whittaker would have been there after you've been with them that long.
Old Mr. Whittaker would have been there. This chap didn't even know my name. Had to look at his bit of paper.
It's with them being taken over. They don't know anybody.
There were 2 women sorters there getting a presentation, and it's only 6 years since they came.
I'll save the card. I'll send it our Bertram.
They won't want it.
They will. They'll want to see it, I know. Well, Dad, we don't want it on sideboard.
Well, where do you want it?
Well, we don't. It's not like an ornament.
It were the monks that started Leeds off. Not many folks appreciate that. All this stems from the monks. There was a little party of them walked over from Fountains Abbey and set up by the River Aire. And in the course of time, that became Kirkstall Abbey. It was the monks built the first forge. That was how Leeds got started off with engineering all them years since. And now look at it. This is where Wellington Street used to be. Or else it's Woodhouse Lane. No, that must have been Woodhouse Lane we went under. Well, this is City Square anyway. I can remember when folks used to think them statues right rude. If there's aught you want, Arthur, you better check it. They'll only thieve it.
Are you not got a garden there, then?
No, it's a flat. Downstairs, that's garden. The blighters!
Hey, get away, you kids! I'll turn your backside!
Here, Arthur, I'll show you something. Now then, are you going to Seaside?
Hey, they live to a great age, the Toad.
Oh, well, they never move, do they? He doesn't move from one week's end to the next. I'll put this back. He's on the verge of hibernating. I've seen rabbits here.
Oh,
And a fox once, right in the middle of Leeds. We wanted a bungalow, but they're ridiculous.
Ah, well, it's seaside, there will be.
We only got this because of our Bertram. Property's ridiculous now. There's a rehouses up at New Worsley we wanted.
Oh, aye.
But we wanted a change.
How is the lad?
Well, it's their winter now. I say winter, it's never right cold.
I wouldn't like it.
You're as bad as my missus.
Well, it's such a long way off.
Ah, she feels it. But I tell her Australia, it's not like the other end of the world. Not nowadays.
I've been sorting through one or two bits of things. There's them pillowcases. And that's a tray cloth. That came from Hong Kong.
Don't you want it?
Oh, we've got too much stuff. Half of it we never use. You don't realise till you get sorting it out. That's a little tray cloth, came from our Nora's. That's all undone. Bertram brought it home from Malaya.
Are they all right?
I've got a letter in my bag. Lynn's going to be bonny.
Oh, aren't they brown? It looks right American now, does your Bertram?
Where? I don't think so.
Oh, I do.
And that's Jennifer. We've never seen her. She'll be 3. Sydney's the seaside.
Yes, there's that bridge there. Where are you in Sydney, Frank?
San Francisco.
Oh, yes, there's a bridge there too. You get mixed up. Frank's been all over.
Isn't that a bonny frock? My mother was a great worker for the Conservatives. That was with having a shop. She was in the Primrose League. That seems to have gone now, all that. Empire Day. Empire Day is the 24th of May. Empire Day is the 24th of May. Empire Day is the 24th of May, and the soul goes marching on.
We're singing. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
I saw another fella come out of that end house.
Oh, aye.
She's blonde now. Saw her in the laundrette this morning. She smiled, but I didn't take on.
Oh, she's right enough. Her husband's in Stockport.
It'd break Mrs. Appleyard's heart. She had that place spotless.
Anyway, how do you expect folks to behave? These days there's no incentive.
We didn't behave like that.
Only because we didn't have the opportunity.
Well, we were happy.
I'm not saying we weren't happy.
We've lived round here all our lives. Courting in cemetery.
Hey, only that once.
It was my teeth you fell for. And I've still got 'em.
Oh, heck.
Fancy.
What?
I've slept in this bedroom 27 years and I've never seen that before.
What?
That crack in ceiling.
Where?
There.
Oh, I have.
Well, I haven't. Like a man smoking a pipe.
This isn't to go, is that right?
We're putting it in a sale.
You'll not get much for this. Pianos, they're giving them away.
I've not seen them. And when you come back, wipe your feet.
This isn't the show house, missus. They're pulling them down. The slums.
Slums? There never are. What are you doing? There's no need to do that. Removal men will see to all that. They said leave it as it is.
You bang it while I hold it.
All this performance.
I've always done this bed. I know how it functions. Go on, bang it, man. Flame yourself. Mind your fingers. Mind your fingers.
And your best suit. I still think I ought to have scrubbed down.
Can they cut your gas off?
They can't wait, can they?
Can we put boards up?
What board?
Put windows for vandals.
How do you mean, vandals? What do you think they are? What's all this? That's vandals. Vandals that live out at Addle and Lawnswood. Vandals with big cars that get on the council and haven't the sense they were born with. They're the vandals.
Nay, lass. Nay, nay.
Can't even make a cup of tea. We only had that put in 1956. That was a waste of money. Slums, they never are.
I see you. Yeah. It's like leaving a bloody battlefield.
Leeds thanks careful drivers. Drivers again. What about everybody else? It's all drivers.
Anyway, we're off.
Aye. Bye-bye, mucky Leeds. It's one of them buses with a lavatory. Are you going to go?
I don't want to go.
I do.
I'll go then.
I don't want everybody to know I'm going.
She's been in twice already. She were in there before we got to Stanningley. Anyway, what's it matter what folk think? We're retired now.
All right. Hold me bag. I went.
Yeah.
It's very ingenious. They've got it in above where they generally put the luggage. You want to go?
I don't want to go.
That's your trouble. No spirit of adventure. I wonder where it goes.
What?
You know. I expect it's scattered on the central reservation. I wish we had our own entrance.
A visitor? Oh,
I thought you might like a cup of tea.
oh, thank you very much.
And a cake or two. I made them myself.
Thank you. See, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You're from Leeds?
Yes, aye.
A lot of people around here from Leeds.
Aye.
Home from home. Retired people.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're retired, I suppose.
Yes, aye.
What sort of thing?
Engineering.
What, metal casings?
My nephew's in engineering. Management side, of course. There's nothing like that round here. No industry at all. It's a great boon. Have you got everything?
Aye, yes. Oh, we haven't much stuff.
Well, you don't need it when you're getting on, do you?
No.
Well, I'll leave you then. If you want anything, knock on my door.
That was very nice of her.
How old do you reckon she was?
50 odd.
Can't abide everybody wanting to know your business. This is poor tea. It's like medicine.
There's no need to whisper.
She might hear.
She can't.
I don't want her telling tale.
Oh, I can't keep on whispering.
It's the trouble with flats. You never know who's listening.
We've only just got here, man. Come on. I don't know about that tea, but this cake's as hard as was.
Well, I can't put them in dustbin. She might see.
Well, save them. I'll give them to the seagulls.
Dad?
Oh.
Listen.
Oh,
Is that the sea?
traffic. I hope that's not a feature. It's been yap, yap, yap all flipping night.
Doesn't feel like our bed somehow. This used to be a right dip there.
It's refitting. Get shaken up.
Could you do with a drink of tea?
It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, we're retired now. Tea has a right funny taste, dear.
Well, that's the water, so you better get used to it.
How much did you give them removal men?
50p.
That's a lot. Have we done right, do you think? It's like being able to have a choice that makes it so difficult. We've never had a proper choice before. It's always been Leeds. There wasn't anywhere else we could have gone, was there?
Australia?
What would we do in Australia? It's all for young folks. And we couldn't have stopped there.
Where?
Leeds. Oh, we couldn't, could we?
No.
I wouldn't go in one of them tall blocks. Moortown, Seacroft. I don't want to be dumped on the outskirts. New estates, they're all hooligans. You find all sorts in them lifts. If we'd had a lass, it would have been different. Lasses are always popping in.
It's too late to start now.
She'll wonder what's happening. What's up?
I'm just going out, a bit of a walk.
Why? What time is it?
7:30. I'll go back to sleep. Have you got a Leeds paper?
We've got a Bradford Argus.
That's not a Leeds paper.
Well, it's thereabouts.
That's never tea.
You get rheumatism with strong tea.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Oh, yeah, you do. Our lass, she was riddled with rheumatism. When we fetched the doctor, the first thing he did was to take her off strong tea.
And did it do any good?
Well, I couldn't sup that any road. Are you a visitor?
No, I live here. Retired.
My God. They're finishing them soon these days, aren't they?
I'm 65.
Well, you don't look it. Whereabouts?
Leeds.
Leeds?
Well, some of us have jobs to go to.
Sort of a time do you call this? In Leeds, we'd have been hard at it by now. Chap that invented emulsion paint deserves a medal.
There's a woman been sat in that window all morning.
5 minutes and it's dry.
You think she'd have something better to do?
I don't think it'll need another coat. What do you think?
She could make a start cleaning them windows. They're filthy. What?
Will it do?
It's champion. It's a nice top. There's no muck, is there? Leeds, you could be scrubbing all day and it'd still be black. Come every day?
Aye.
Just a pint, then.
Any extras? Cream, eggs, yoghurt?
Yoghurt? Don't think so. You have to be brought up to stuff like yoghurt.
Put new life in you.
Funny stuff, I always think. Anyhow, you can't be branching out into yoghurt at our age.
Go on, live a bit.
Maybe we'll have a little thing of double cream on Sundays.
Sorry, don't deliver Sundays.
The diddy Leeds. They were from Leeds.
Yes?
He was an inspector on buses.
I'll say one thing, it's not crowded.
No, but it's nice.
In summertime, you'd fight your way along here.
wonder the mills are closing. Look at her. There's no material there, is there?
It beats Wellington Road, does this?
Grand morning.
Aye.
If I feel it doing you good.
Aye.
You have a sweet.
Oh, no, thank you. We're just going for our dinner.
I don't have dinner. I have a main meal at night.
Oh, yes.
Since I lost my husband.
That's right.
I don't feel in need for it somehow. I think you don't.
No.
Job's a boring woman. I have my main meal at night.
It's happened because her husband died.
I should think it were happy release.
Have you ever thought about the sea?
Well, what about the sea?
How wonderful it is. It comes in and it goes out. Isn't it wonderful?
Well, it's the tides. It's to do with the moon.
I don't care what it's to do with. I just think it's wonderful. And I think people take it too much for granted. 1 minute it's right up to promenade. Next it's right out. People don't think about it. I do. I think it's wonderful.
Look at that fella's trousers. I'm glad we've got our own place. Wouldn't fancy pulling back to digs every day. Blackburn gripped by bread hysteria. Do you remember that place we stayed? That woman with the bald husband?
That was Cleveland.
See it, how Bertram did that woman? No sand in the bedrooms.
He had to do everything, that chap. Wash up, lay the tables. She never did a hand's turn.
You were that hungry, you had to put sauce on bread. And she tippled to that and took sauce away.
And it was a 7-mile walk to the lavatory.
Spend, spend, spend to beat inflation.
What time is it?
5:05. Why?
No. They do seem long days.
Shall we have our dinner out? I mean, just for a change.
We can if you want.
Hardened chips and peas. Halibut chips and peas with tartar sauce, 75p. And that doesn't include tea and bread and butter.
They expect you to fill up on tartar sauce. Nay, come on.
They've altered this place. Used to be a right grand old-fashioned place.
It'll do. I'm fed up of trailing round.
It's all continental. I've been coming here for years. Waiters now used to be waitresses. Let's see. Where are my glasses? What do you think, Dan?
I don't know. What do you think?
we were wanting something like, well, is there anything like Welsh rarebit?
See, madam.
Welsh rarebit?
Si.
Cheese on toast.
Si, over here.
Is it? Doesn't look like cheese on toast to me. Are you sure?
Si, madam.
Oh, well, we'd better have some of that.
And can we have some tea and bread and butter to go with it?
Roll and butter.
Oh, well, we won't bother then. They like to regiment you, don't they? You have to have what they want. It's all right, is this, isn't it, Dad?
It's not Welsh rarebit.
Aye, but it's nice. We're branching out a bit. Italian restaurants.
I know this much. We shan't have to be coming in cafes now there's not coming in.
Well, it's a change. I have a fair bit of shopping to do.
Well, I don't want to trail about. I'll see you later on.
How do you do?
How do you do? You've gotten yourself a right job there.
Aye.
Still, you're making a good job of it.
Aye.
He were 3 hours on the table. 5 surgeons fighting for his life. It had gone to brain. He died on the table. Twice. First time they resuscitated him. Then doctor came in and said, should they resuscitate him again? They asked me. It were my decision. Oh, it were terrible. So I said, well, if it's all the same to you, no. I don't want him fetched backwards and forwards. I think the body knows best. Oh, he's your hubby. Besides, it wasn't like my husband. Not at the finish.
There's no need to be sending off postcards every day, you know. It's not as if we're on our holidays.
You've got to keep in touch.
We can't run to stamps. There must be 4 bob for the postage there.
Folks expect it.
Not every 5 minutes, they don't.
I don't know why you don't read. You're fussed what to do with yourself. That's your trouble.
I am. Trailing about after you all day. I've gotten right stalled.
Oh, well, go off by yourself then, if I'm such a burden.
Ah, well. I will.
I will do. Come on, boss. Dad.
What?
I'm sorry.
We seem to do nothing but trail about, that's all.
It takes time.
We get all dolled up to go out, and where do we go? To buy a loaf and 2 tomatoes.
You're not used to it.
I wouldn't care. But this place, we're under each other's feet all day. It's like a rabbit hutch.
No, we're not. It's just that we're in all day.
Retirement.
Well, it's retirement for me, you know.
No, it's not. It's what it's always been for you. Doing the housework, going down the road. Me had 6 men under me.
Well, maybe you could see about trying to get an allotment.
I know one thing, we'll have to pull our horns in. We don't want to be putting in for it supplementary.
It's not to be ashamed of.
We'll have to clamp down, that's all. If it wasn't for the bit our Bertram gives us, we wouldn't be able to manage. I don't know.
And we shall have to get out a bit more, see more folks mix.
We work all our lives and this is what it's for. It's all leading up to this.
My Frank.
Oh, give over, stop roaring. We're like the young uns. No ties, no place, nout. Relatives scattered all over the shop.
We shall have to try and think of it as a holiday.
Well, it's not a holiday. Holidays, you've got to pack it all in. You've only got a fortnight and then you've got your work to go back to. Us, we've nothing to go back to. We've all the time in the world.
No, we haven't. We don't know how long we've got.
Oh, don't start getting morbid.
I still think we ought to try and mix a bit more.
Mix?
Any road, I'm sorry.
Go to sleep.
I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P, I'm H-A-P, I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P, I'm H-A-P, I'm H-A-P-P-Y.
God wants us to be healthy, if only we'll allow ourselves to be. It's we who are standing in his way, thinking wrong, negative thoughts. Oh, I do feel poorly today. Oh, dear, this headache's getting me down. Sometimes I think we think ourselves into the grave. Animals don't think, do they? You never see dogs with long faces worrying about where the next meal's coming from. And they're God's creatures, just like us. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Venables. Now, Mrs. Liversedge, I believe you have a thought you want to share.
Yes, I have.
I think the body is the mind. I think they're both part of the same thing. Just as a tree is part of a wood, and wood is part of a tree.
Would you like to take that thought a little further, Mrs. Liversedge? Miss Passmore will give us Jerusalem, and then we'll adjourn to the Wilberforce room for some tea.
Last night I lay a-sleeping, there came a dream so fair. I stood in old Jerusalem, beside the temple there. I heard the children singing, and ever as they sang.
We're not failing. They must think we're dateless.
You've got to make an effort. Join in. That woman next to me was ever so nice.
I don't care. 3 months ago I was doing a responsible job, and now I'm fit for naught but clapping my hands in a room full of daft old lasses.
It wasn't all like that.
I had 6 men under me. I'm not soft in the head, you know.
It's all very well talking like that, but how many folks do we speak to in the course of a week?
You were the one that wasn't fond of folk. You were the one that said as soon as we got to Morecambe we'd be in favour of folk.
Well, it isn't the season yet, is it? There'll be all sorts coming up.
Anyway, I don't care how I never speak to another flaming soul. I'm not going there again.
We never used to fratch like this, did we? It's being in under each other's feet all day.
I am H-A-P-P-Y. I am not H-A-P-P-Y.
She couldn't sing, could that woman? I don't know how she'd the cheek to stand up.
There's been a letter come.
Thank you. Nosy beggar. Where are my glasses? They only wrote last week. I hope there's nothing wrong. Oh, these flaming airmail letters.
Never know which side to slit. Dad! Dad! He's coming home. He's coming here. He's going to be here for a week.
What, now, Bertram? Get away.
19th to the 27th, on business.
H-A-P-P-Y, H-A-P-P-Y.
He is brown. Yeah, brown. He is brown, isn't he, Dad?
Well, it'll be the sun.
Yeah.
It's grand seeing you.
It's grand seeing you, too.
They have that music everywhere nowadays. They have it on railway stations now, you know. Do they have it in Australia?
Oh, yeah.
I can't do with it. Rather have it loud enough to listen to or not at all. Wouldn't you, Dad?
I don't mind.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, what's the point of discussing it, then?
Well, you could ask them to turn it off.
Ma'am, she's always like this. You see what I have to put up with?
Have another cake, go on.
No, I have to watch me weight.
Oh, go on, you're not fat, is he, Dad? Go on, have another.
I've had enough.
Here.
He's had enough.
Do you think we could ask for some more hot water? It's getting a bit strong.
Well, ask for some.
Excuse me, do you think we could have a bit more hot water?
Nay, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's nothing, madam.
Whatever must they think?
It's not.
Forget it.
I didn't want any more tea anyway.
I didn't think you did.
Are you going to leave a tip? Nay, Bertram, that's too much. Tell him, Dad.
It's nothing.
Do you think I could go spend a penny?
Mum's no different.
No. She revels in it here. Mind you, she always has.
How are you?
Nicely. We're both nicely. Well, you can tell.
You look well. Thank you. Are you managing? I mean, financially?
Yes, well, I mean, we couldn't if you hadn't fixed the flat and everything. But we're all right. We don't spend much. Well, there's not much to spend it on. And we've got everything we want, thanks to you.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. We'd never have been able to get fixed up like this if it hadn't been for you, and we're very grateful.
Well, I'm grateful to you, too.
And there's one thing to think on. When season comes round again, there'll be all sorts going off.
Something to look forward to.
Aye. I'll be able to go and watch all these bathing beauty contests.
Oh, aye. I should think it does you good here, too.
Oh, it's clean. There's no muck. Come on, ma'am. The trouble with your mum is that when she goes to the toilet, she always has to have an all-over wash afterwards.
Are you ready? Come on. It's a lovely nap. Are you ready? Oh, I'm ever so sorry about that milk.
Ma'am.
We once went to Windermere on a Wallace Arnold when you were right little. There was this woman with a little lad, a right bad little beggar he was, and he did naught but eat all the way from Leeds. In finish he was wanting to be sick, but the driver wouldn't stop. So they opened the door and his mother held him while he was sick. Only just as he was doing it, the coach overtook this cycling club. They never knew what hit them. 3 of them fell off. It should be all mountains over there, but you can't see aught.
In summer, it's overrun with cars. They're going to have to restrict it.
That's one thing we miss. Transport. Fares are shocking.
Wicked.
If we had a little car, we could get about all over.
You want to learn to drive?
That's what I tell him.
Nay, I'm past that.
Daffodils by Ullswater. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. When oft upon my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood,
I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P, I'm H-A-P, I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P, I'm H-A-P, I'm H-A-P-P-Y.
God wants us to be healthy, if only we'll allow ourselves to be. It's we who are standing in his way, thinking wrong, negative thoughts. Oh, I do feel poorly today. Oh, dear, this headache's getting me down. Sometimes I think we think ourselves into the grave. Animals don't think, do they? You never see dogs with long faces worrying about where the next meal's coming from. And they're God's creatures, just like us. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Venables. Now, Mrs. Liversedge, I believe you have a thought you want to share.
Yes, I have. I think the body is the mind. I think they're both part of the same thing. Just as a tree is part of a wood, and wood is part of a tree.
Would you like to take that thought a little further, Mrs. Liversedge? Miss Passmore will give us Jerusalem, and then we'll adjourn to the Wilberforce room for some tea.
Last night I lay a-sleeping, there came a dream so fair. I stood in old Jerusalem, beside the temple there. I heard the children singing, and ever as they sang.
We're not failing. They must think we're dateless.
You've got to make an effort. Join in. That woman next to me was ever so nice.
I don't care. 3 months ago, I was doing a responsible job, and now I'm fit for naught but clapping my hands in a room full of daft old lasses.
Wasn't all like that.
I had 6 men under me. I'm not soft in the head, you know.
It's all very well talking like that, but how many folks do we speak to in the course of a week?
You were the one that wasn't fond of folk. You were the one that said as soon as we got to Morecambe, we'd be in favour of folk.
Well, it isn't the season yet, is it? There'll be all sorts coming up.
Anyway, I don't care if I never speak to another flaming soul. I'm not going there again.
We never used to fratch like this, did we? It's being in under each other's feet all day.
I am H-A-P-P-Y. I am not H-A-P-P-Y.
She couldn't sing, could that woman? I don't know how she'd the cheek to stand up.
There's been a letter come.
Thank you. Nosy beggar. Where are my glasses? They only wrote last week. I hope there's nothing wrong. Oh, these flaming airmail letters. You never know which side to slit. Dad! Dad! He's coming home. He's coming here. He's going to be here for a week.
What, Bertram? Get away.
19th to the 27th, on business.
H-A-P-P-Y, H-A-P-P-Y.
He is brown. Yeah, brown. He is brown, isn't he, Dad?
Well, it'll be the sun.
Yeah.
It's grand seeing you.
It's grand seeing you, too.
They have that music everywhere nowadays. They have it on railway stations now, you know. Do they have it in Australia?
Oh, yeah.
I can't do with it. Rather have it loud enough to listen to or not at all. Wouldn't you, Dad?
I don't mind.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, what's the point of discussing it, then?
Well, you could ask them to turn it off.
Ma'am, she's always like this. You see what I have to put up with?
Have another cake, go on.
No, I have to watch me weight.
Oh, go on, you're not fat, is he, Dad? Go on, have another.
I've had enough.
Here.
He's had enough.
Do you think we could ask for some more hot water? It's getting a bit strong.
Well, ask for some.
Excuse me, do you think we could have a bit more hot water?
Nay, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's nothing, madam.
Whatever must they think?
It's not.
Forget it.
I didn't want any more tea anyway.
I didn't think you did.
Are you going to leave a tip? Nay, Bertram, that's too much. Tell him, Dad.
It's nothing.
Do you think I could go spend a penny?
Mum's no different.
No. She revels in it here. Mind you, she always has.
How are you?
Nicely. We're both nicely. Well, you can tell.
You look well.
Thank you.
Are you managing? I mean, financially?
Yes, well, I mean, we couldn't if you hadn't fixed the flat and everything. But we're all right. We don't spend much. Well, there's not much to spend it on. And we've got everything we want, thanks to you.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. We'd never have been able to get fixed up like this if it hadn't been for you, and we're very grateful.
Well, I'm grateful to you, too.
And there's one thing to think on. When season comes round again, there'll be all sorts going off.
Something to look forward to.
Aye. I'll be able to go and watch all these bathing beauty contests.
Oh, aye. I should think it does you good here, too.
Oh, it's clean. There's no muck. Come on, ma'am. Trouble with your mum is that when she goes to the toilet, she always has to have an all-over wash afterwards.
Are you ready? Come on. It's a lovely lap. Are you ready? Oh, I'm ever so sorry about that milk.
We once went to Windermere on a Wallace Arnold when you were right little. There was this woman with a little lad, a right bad little beggar he was, and he did naught but eat all the way from Leeds. In finish he was wanting to be sick, but the driver wouldn't stop. So they opened the door and his mother held him while he was sick. Only just as he was doing it, the coach overtook this cycling club. They never knew what hit them. 3 of them fell off. It should be all mountains over there, but you can't see aught.
In summer, it's overrun with cars. They're going to have to restrict it.
That's one thing we miss, transport. Fares are shocking.
Wicked.
If we had a little car, we could get about all over.
You want to learn to drive?
That's what I tell him.
Nay, I'm past that.
Daffodils by Ullswater. I wandered lonely as a cloud, that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. When oft upon my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood.
Oh, that'll be the day.
I learnt that at Wortley Road School 50 years since.
Look at it. It's tipping it down.
Well, I don't mind.
Bertram doesn't mind, do you? So's he's come to see, not Lake District.
I'll bet you get better weather than this in Australia.
A bit, aye.
But there's no Lake District.
Well, there's other things.
Aye, Bondi Beach.
And sharks.
Sharks? Why do you always have to look on black side?
I don't, it's you.
Ma'am. Anyway, I've never seen a shark.
I know one thing. We aren't going to see any in Lake District.
This morning, Grange was ever so plain.
You know you can always come out, don't you?
Hear that, ma'am?
Any time. I mean for good.
Nay, well, we wouldn't know anybody, would we? Except you and Gillian.
Well, who do you know here?
That's what I tell her. We know nobody.
What's your dad? He won't branch out. He won't even try to strike up new acquaintances.
I'm past stage when you're striking up new acquaintances. You're not striking up new acquaintances when you're over 65.
You can. There's always time to strike out.
Not in Morecambe.
Anyway, think about it. Gillian would be really pleased.
She's a grand lass. And the kiddies.
I'll be smothered in Australia. I was smothered in Torquay. You get some grand sunsets here. My mother always said the best sunsets she ever saw were at Morecambe, between the wars.
It'll seem quiet when you're gone. It were grand having a run out. I can't see what difference it makes where we are, kind of lives we lead. Trailing around shops, looking in at windows, sitting on front.
Because you won't get down and get used to it, he won't, Bertram. That's what retirement's like.
This is what I've been working for. For us, this is knocking off time.
I keep telling him. It has been grand seeing you.
It's been grand seeing you.
Oh, come on. It's all waiting. I've done nothing but wait for you ever since we were married.
Is that letter ready to post?
I'm fast what to say. What is there to tell him?
Tell her Mrs. Wainwright's dead.
It's all deaths. That's all we ever tell him. He won't remember who Mrs. Wainwright was anyway.
He will. He used to play out with their Derek.
She was a right particular article. What do we want writing halfway across the world telling him about Mrs. Wainwright for?
She's dead.
Well, he wouldn't have gone across the street for her when she was alive.
You're always going on at me now. We never used to have a cross word.
Well, I don't see any point in it.
Nay, Dad.
Oh, stop pulling your face and be sharp. We're going to miss the film.
I don't want to go now.
Well, I'm not trailing about all afternoon. Now get yourself ready.
I am ready. Don't like going to the pictures in the afternoon. I don't like coming out when it's light.
You'd better get them to change the concessions then. 2, please, pensioner. Have you got the card? Cool. You want some ice cream?
Don't want all one.
Not chocolate.
Why, have they gone up?
No.
Give us 2 spoons then.
Those were the long, innocent days.
open me this spoon. I don't know why they have to put it all in bags.
Julie Christie, Alan Bates, Margaret Leighton, Michael Redgrave. The past is a foreign country. They do things differently there.
My sister is very beautiful. I'll tell you a secret. Marriage engagement, married Trimmingham.
Pictures nowadays, they have right funny endings. You never know where you are. What was he going to do? Well, they have to put sex in, they're all the same.
It was all right.
Ah, you like all that.
No, I never do.
You do, some of it. Didn't know where to put myself. Are you all right?
Of course I'm all right. Pictures strain your eyes. Let's walk on. A good blow will do me good. Sit down for a bit.
No, it's too cold to sit.
No, let's sit a bit.
Are you still feeling funny?
No, I'm all right. I think I'll just shed a tear.
Excuse me.
Yes, love.
I wonder whether... I know it seems funny asking, but my husband's in that toilet and he's been in there 20 minutes. Well, I mean, I don't think he intended to. Not so long.
You don't know, do you? Anyway, there should be an attendant.
Oh, there isn't always, is there? And I can't really go in.
Well, could you not find a policeman?
There isn't one. I've been looking.
Well, what does he look like, love?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Frank?
Do you understand what a stroke is, Mrs. Palmer?
Is it like a seizure?
Well, what happens is that the blood breaks through into the brain and interferes with its functions.
I see.
It may only be a small part of the brain, in which case not much damage may be done. We shan't know about that until he comes round.
Yes.
But the longer he stays unconscious, I'm afraid the more serious it is.
He's never had anything like this before. He's always been well.
No, well, that's...
Can't think what would have caused it.
Can we telephone? Is there someone we could ring who could come and stay with you?
Not really. No.
There must be someone. Neighbours?
We don't have any proper neighbours. I'll just wait.
You sure?
Yes.
I'll get someone to bring you a cup of tea.
Thank you. Oh,
Sorry?
weak tea.
Yes.
And who's his next of kin?
Well, I am. I've got a son in Australia, only he wouldn't want him fetched back. You see, we come from Leeds.
Isn't there anybody there?
He's got a sister, only I ought to ask her first whether she's willing. We got some cousins in Pudsey.
It's only a formality.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's only in case the worst comes to the worst.
Shall I put letter follows?
What?
Letter follows. It's cheaper.
Oh, yes.
And it had better be 1945 hours. That'll save you 10p on the PM, you see.
1945?
Yes. That's the same as 7:45, you see.
Will they know that?
In Australia? I think so.
No, I'll put the other.
All right, love.